So for those watching these videos, I just realized the mirroring was on. So Kevin's left looked like his right and right looked like his left. We have fixed that for this and going forward. So you might see the image reverse. So Kevin, I want to talk about your prescription drugs now. Like what are you on right now prescription wise, both for, every day, but also for the procedure you just went through?
Yeah. So not related to any of this, I'm on a Valtrex because I get shingles on my nose, which is pretty sweet. And then antibiotics. I just had 2 procedures. So August 28th, I had the lumbar fusion, and I ended up getting a seroma infected under my incision. So I had those on 2 rounds of clindamycin for that one. And then I just had the stem cell injection procedure. So I'm on another antibiotic. I'm just about halfway done with that one at this point.
That was a week ago today.
Yeah, that was on the 22nd. I had the stem cell injections, October 22nd. Those come with a list of side effects, whatnot, one of them being nausea. Something we haven't talked about also, it's very significant when I'm upright and all of the nerve functions happen and the vertigo type feelings, it comes with nausea. I feel like I want to throw up most of every day when I'm standing up. So I've been taking anti-nausea pill now for a good couple months, and it's fantastic. I have anti-nausea pills right by my bed, so I always have them there. I keep barf bags around in case I have them. I try not to leave home without a barf bag because you never know. So nausea is a pretty supreme side effect that I feel of some medications that I take, but then also I just have a background in nausea all the time. So an anti-nausea medicine, and then the next 2 would be different types of opioid. So one is, I was just on Percocet for the stem cell procedure, but typically I cycle on and off cyclobenzaprine for a muscle relaxer because I have lots of muscle spasms, whether they be in my neck, in my shoulders, in my legs. And then tramadol, 50 milligrams. So cyclobenzaprine, 10 milligrams, tramadol, 50 milligrams. And tramadol is an opioid painkiller. Both of those, cyclobenzaprine also has some opioid in it. So in general, those 2 make me very constipated and also make me nauseous. So I have to be careful to take those with food. But then also I take an anti-nausea pill, so that kind of knocks it out. So I take those when things, everything, I just feel like I can't deal with the pain and discomfort anymore, and I'm particularly when I'm not sleeping. That's, I guess we haven't talked about sleep. Sleep is a huge issue, and getting sleep, of course, is very important. When I'm not taking anything, then I might get like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours at a time before I'm up and in discomfort and try to switch position. So I rarely sleep for a solid 8 hours, unless I'm well sedated with a muscle relaxer, a pain pill, and I also take amitriptyline, which is an anti-anxiety, anti-depression medicine, but it's also used for people who have a lot of nerve damage. And that works fantastic for the anxiety feeling that I get. My anxiety kind of starts, I think, right at basically T4, 5, 6, that area, and it gives me that kind of a feeling all the time, and I always just feel on the verge of if something terrible is about to happen kind of feeling. So the amitriptyline really knocks that back. I take that before bedtime, and most of these I take just at bedtime, just to help with sleep. I have taken them like during the day, but during the day, pills are a lot like braces, in that they kind of make you weaker. They make you do things that you really can't do, and they'll make you walk more than you really can, and you won't feel the pain. But really, you need to feel feel the pain. So you know your body's limitations. Typically I'm taking muscle relaxer, painkiller, amitriptyline, and then melatonin also to help aid in sleep. Take that for bedtime, and it's all about just getting a good night's rest if I can do that. I've read that these also mess with your REM sleep, like you're not getting true deep sleep. I do dream a lot, and I dream better when I do all of this. So I feel like I'm getting better sleep. I still will wake up a lot, but it's easier to get back to sleep is the main thing. But then I'll always go through cycles to get off, particularly of the opioids. Just get away from those and let your body and let your system just get to a natural balance again, because the opioids really mess with your digestion and all of that a lot more. So I'm just about done with a Percocet. So I'll give it a test, trying going off. When I go off, typically it's my knees that hurt the most, because they kind of, from walking, just get the most abuse. They're loose also, as all my joints are loose. So yeah, I'll try it. If I have to go back on, I'll go on tramadol, which is a milder opioid than the Percocet, and then wean myself off of that a little bit slower. Coming off them always isn't the most pleasant thing. You don't sleep well at all, like for a good 3 nights when you're coming off of an opioid. So you just prepare yourself for that mentally and know that it's going to be a few rough nights. And then you just feel your pain. And pain is constant, and pain is something you deal with. And I've taken the philosophy of forgetting his name right now. Anyway, he's a yoga therapist type person, and he describes pain as a sensation followed by the motor intention to move away from that sensation. So you're in pain and discomfort, and you just want to go away from it and make it go away. So if you mentally you remove that motor intention to get away from that sensation, then it just becomes sensation. And so you can sort of mentally get there and just say, okay, my knee is screaming at me right now. My neck is screaming at me right now. It's just, that's what it's doing. It's here, what it is. And you can kind of work yourself through it that way. And so I'll go through, as long as I can, a period of taking on pain and discomfort that way. And then when it just gets overwhelming, then I'll go on another cycle of taking a muscle relaxer and tramadol typically. So I cycle off of those two. Valtrex, I've got a daily prescription, but I try not to take that every day. I just take that if I ever get a flare up, which I can always feel when it's coming. I'll take that. So my goal is always to get off all pills if I can. And amitriptyline was also difficult to get off. I did that. I spent about 3 months this summer off of everything, and it was rough. And I was really happy to start the amitriptyline again and started sleeping much better. So I think it's healthier to get more sleep and be on pills than not get to sleep, because everything falls apart when you don't get sleep.
Very good.
And then I take supplements. So I'll take a B12 supplement, which is good for nerve regrowth. So I've got nerve damage, and B12 is really good for that. I eat lots of liver, because that's loaded with B12 and other good nutrients. The clinic, the Centeno Schultz clinic, is where I got the stem cell injections. They have a fish oil and turmeric supplement, and then also a glucosamine, chondroitin, and a lot of other things that are good for generating stem cells and that kind of stuff. So I take their supplements. I'll take a lion's mane mushroom supplement. I think I'll be switching when I'm out of this. I'll switch to like a multi mushroom kind of supplement, because I think those are really important. And that's about it for supplements.
Very good. Thanks, Kev.
All right.